Hello and welcome. My name is Tom.
And I'm Heather.
And you're sitting at the Couples Table.
The Couples Table is a live stream podcast here on this channel. Join us for better or worse.
For richer or poor.
In sickness and in health.
For the first time in 2024.
Oh, could you believe?
Yeah.
Happy New Year. Hello.
I know we're like, what, 12 days into it right now. Yeah. 5 golden rings.
Hello, everybody. Tech Troublemaker is in the house.
Check our audio.
Hello, Bailey. Hello. Parker Jennings is here as well. As I go through the greeting comments, Tom is going to check the audio. Freddie always is here. Pete is here. Hello, Tom and Heather. Zens, what's up? Hi, everyone. Top of the morning podcast. Greetings from Mars. Hello, Rio Pel Room. Hello. Homesick Mac is here. Julie, hello. Happy Friday. Kane, always love the community here.
Yeah.
K-Walk Comedy, hi peeps. Haven't been to the table in a hot minute. Well, we're glad you're here. Michael is here, back on schedule, where I can watch live. Yes. Obs, oh my gosh, we were talking about you yesterday.
In a good way.
Yeah.
I went to the doctor and I took your advice about the monthly migraine shot thing.
Yeah. Charlotte, Happy New Year. Rim Jam. Hey, Tom and Heather. Wish I could stick around. Just wanted to say hi. Catch you all on the replay. Have a great stream. See ya. Thanks for saying hi. The show has audio. I think it's whether our audio is balanced.
You know Scott Kramer, who I've been watching on my YouTube commentary channels that I love. I was watching his like recap end of the year video.
Okay.
And he mentioned me in it a couple times because the video's an hour and a half long and he keeps changing mics throughout. And he was like, it's like nobody on this channel cares about this, but I'm now using the Shure SM7B or whatever. And then halfway through the video, he's like, oh, there was a video I saw from Rim Jam, and it was a clip from their channel.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, because because he had done a video about going on a road trip. There's a thing in North Dakota called the Enchanted Highway, which has all these giant metal sculptures.
Oh.
And he just did like visiting these roadside attractions. And they did some of it. They like kind of went and did it and made a video about it too.
That's cool.
I was like, whoa, wait.
A merging of worlds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
Oh, Cats in the Air. Oh my gosh, are you seriously like coming back already? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's been so fun to
air. Cats on a plane.
That's crazy that you're watching like in the air.
I know.
Right
We're
now.
flying through the sky right now.
Anyways, hello everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We're glad to be here. Yeah. I was gonna say, hopefully we stick to Friday at 1 p.m. But we have an appointment next Friday that we need to move, so we can keep the Friday at 1 p.m.
Oh yeah, I also had another thing. Well, yeah.
What?
It's a hockey related thing.
Oh.
But yeah. It's
Audio
priority.
hotline.
I was
Happy to see you.
asked to do something today at 2 p.m. and I said no. I have an unmovable
A
appointment.
hockey thing.
I was asked.
Okay, yeah. No.
Well.
Who was it?
Oh, just to play goalie.
For what?
Pickup thing at 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. See? Couples table, okay?
And I said no.
Good for you. Gold star. Okay, so what are we talking about today, Tom?
Well, it's a new year, and I think it was about 18 months ago we did an episode of the Couples Table where we were talking about like something's different with YouTube,
Oh
something's
my gosh,
changing.
how do you know this?
Because it was in the summertime, and it wasn't this past summer, so it had to be the summer before. We were talking about like I think there's a change within YouTube, and something is different, and something is changing, but we didn't know what it was. We're just sort of like recognizing this thing. We couldn't really put our fingers on it, and I still don't know that there's like something to definitively put a finger on, but I feel like enough time has passed and things have evolved that whatever that was, it wasn't just us feeling that way. There was a greater thing happening, a greater shift that has and is happening, and now we can start to see the effects of that in the type of content that's being created and published and shared, and the types of channels that are emerging and growing, and the things people are in a large way becoming more interested in, less interested, all that kind of stuff. I think kind of speaks to what we were trying to figure out way back when. And it seems like it's a cool thing to talk about at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Or not. I don't know.
No, like I thought you were going to lead into the video you sent out.
No, I just sent a link to a video. This just got me thinking of a thing. If you're on our like notification email list.
Yes, we do have a mailing list because I know sometimes our time moves. Hopefully it doesn't this year, but we do have a mailing list where we email the day before that the couples
or the morning
table,
of.
Yeah, that the couples table is going live with the link. And yesterday Tom included a link to the video.
Yeah, well, there was a video. This topic specifically for this show came about. We were walking our dogs the other day. I had seen a video on YouTube that just sort of popped up in my recommendation. Well, actually, no, this is how YouTube is working now. Like a month ago, a video popped up that was something about like YouTube is changing or YouTube is different or why YouTube feels different. And I was like, oh, let me watch this. And it was someone sort of just talking about that. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And since I watched that video,
Now
my homepage is just
videos.
like a million videos like that, which is fine. It's interesting to hear people's thoughts. And it's this weird combination of videos from like YouTube coaching channels, like how to grow your channel, what to stop doing to grow your channel in 2024, like those kinds of videos. And then it's also just sort of like people sharing their thoughts, channels of all sizes. I've noticed a lot of the ones being recommended to me about this are from smaller channels, like under 1,000 subscribers, sometimes 100, 200 subscribers. But they put out a video about something to do with YouTube changing, and either that one gets recommended or that specific video has like blown up for their channel and gotten tens of thousands of views or something along those lines. And so I watched the other day, one popped up, and for whatever reason it got me to click on it. I don't know. And it was somebody from South Africa, and they were giving their thoughts on the current like emerging trend of what vlogging looks like in 2024. And it was pretty interesting, and he kind of like cited some examples of current vloggers that I had never heard of and wasn't familiar with or anything, and what he likes and what's different and how they're sort of like because everything in art, pop culture, whatever, is like a lot of it is action and reaction or reaction to something. You have I mean, it's even like if you look at movies, you have westerns, then you have space sci-fi, then you have comedies, you have drama, like everything kind of just goes and reacts to something else. And so for the past several years, the big extreme thing, that even the previous phase of vlogging, especially when it went into like then family vloggers and prank vloggers and those channels that really blew up with millions of subscribers and everything started getting a little extreme, then of course, somebody showed up on the platform and sort of took over the platform, and sort of that success dictated for so many people how they made their thumbnails, how they made their videos, how they edited things, structured things, and everything just kind of became
everything. It like permeated into Instagram and TikTok.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was all, it's
Which
based,
isn't bad.
well, it's just based so much on spectacle and, extreme things. I have 1,000,000 of this. I have 10,000 of these. I have this amount of dollars. I'm doing this for
The
this
best,
many hours.
the worst, like
the biggest, the best, the most, all that kind of thing.
What's that word?
Hyperbole?
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say expletives. That's not it. That's curse words. What's the word that's like best, worst?
Oh,
It's not expletive. It's
No.
something like that.
no, because I used to do this when I taught yearbook. It was the things we do. Superlative?
That's the one.
Yeah, because I used to call it super laxative.
Not.
Which would be a very different thing. And so with that in mind, there has been a shift to people kind of recognizing what we have said with a lot of that stuff, where it's like, editing for retention and those sorts of things. Like, it will get
Right.
people's attention, but it's like a train wreck in a way. Like, yes, you're going to look at it. It's not necessarily what you would choose to look at. It's not what you want to be looking at.
It is eye-catching.
It's not what you're going to keep looking at. It's just what catches your attention in the moment, but it doesn't stick with you. It doesn't really have any nutritional value. I'm speaking broadly here. And it seems like the reaction to that has been to kind of go in the opposite. Okay, what if something is really more down to earth, small scale, sort of like
It's
authentic,
funny because
genuine, small.
Because I remember the word authentic being like it was so buzzy that
It is
no
a
one
buzzword, yeah.
Well, it was so buzzy where no one wanted to say it anymore. But I feel like everyone stopped saying it and was like editing. It was it was like tipped the scale so far in the other way.
I think in this case too, talking about authentic, the way I've seen people discuss it, is more about like, it's less about, or at least appearing, less about editing and creating videos for an algorithm, for a platform, for whatever, and just sort of making what you want to make. And I think, and doing the best you can. Like, that doesn't mean sort of, I got this whole negative comment on a video. I used this microphone in a video yesterday.
Today?
Yes, this is my most recent video, this microphone right
Doesn't
here.
Tell me these things.
And I mean, it wasn't a big deal, but it was the whole thing of like, I don't know why these YouTubers need to have a big microphone in their face. What do they think? They're hosting a radio show? Like, I miss things that are simple and authentic. And I actually replied, and I tried to be diplomatic, and I was like, you're equating simplicity and authenticity with low quality.
Yeah.
Those things, it does not have to mean that.
Yeah, just because it's high quality, it doesn't mean it's not authentic.
Inauthentic, yes. Now, I know if you're looking at the Mr. Beast world of things, when you have essentially a movie crew and a full-on production crew creating something and filming it from 15 different angles, and it's scripted out, and there's budgets and there's producers. Yeah, that's a TV show, right, that you're making. It's less than a scripted, like, here's my thoughts in my vlog or whatever. And this person might be like, I'm looking for something that's a little more authentic in terms of not that.
Yeah. Let's see really quick. Tech Troublemaker says, views are changing. More folks watching YouTube as if it is streaming service on their TVs. Less editing, shorts or long form competing against each other. That's funny.
I have heard that YouTube on TV is increasing, like,
I mean, it has to be.
amount. Yeah.
I mean, for us, we have it on 24/7 basically.
Yeah. Boston and Maine Live.
Yeah. I mean, we literally have 2 YouTube videos going on in our living room right now.
Yeah. Just live streams, 24/7 live streams.
But it's funny because, like, do you notice? Well, I guess it's different in your world. I was gonna say, do you notice a dip in comments because people are watching on TV?
I don't know. Comments ebb and flow for me. Sometimes it feels like nothing comes in, and then it's like, oh my god.
But I feel like in your world, people are opinionated. They'll tell you that
this is true.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hey, Jared. Good to see you. I got the email, but I didn't do the reading before class.
Don't worry.
Cool.
I just included the link in case we happen to talk about it, and it was like, oh, there's the video.
Rainy Cajun. Love the hoodie, Tom. A hockey fan or just a fan of the colors?
Both.
Oh, man.
And I got very lucky
that
our team had the colors, that I just had the perfect colors, because
I mean, I can't even... I don't think there's a day that goes by in our house where hockey isn't mentioned like 100 times.
Yeah, probably.
And we have 3 TVs in our living room. We have multiple hockey games to watch. He plays goalie.
Yeah, played last night at
I
like
re-pulled
11
my
o'clock.
back like December 30th, so I've been taking a break. But excited to get back out there.
Yeah, it will come up again on this stream. Don't worry.
The world's best camera can still record bad content. Love the mic video. Bought it from a sound mixer that recommended it.
Yeah, I didn't realize this mic was, I think it was Audio Hotline told me how old this mic was. I was just like, oh, this mic's around. It's good. I didn't really look into the history. It's been around for like 15, 16 years now. It's not a new mic.
My wife and I watch Uncle Roger on YouTube every evening at dinner. What's Uncle Roger?
I don't know. I just like the idea of watching like a YouTube show at dinner every night.
I know, that's adorable. I live up here in Seattle. Oh.
Well,
our goal is to go to a Kraken game.
Yeah,
at
we
some
need to
point.
go to the deep.
The deep. Can't agree more, says Kane. I actually restarted making content again after I stopped caring about the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like what's interesting to me is the conversation of creator first and then like numbers. I don't want to even say numbers second because I watched that video and it's not it very much seems like the creator is in charge, and it's not like, oh, at 30 seconds in there was a dip, so now we have to do something crazy flashy or something like that to keep the attention, or there's no there's no coming at from that angle. It's just like I'm sitting at my desk, so which angle can really capture like me feeling like I'm in a brainstorming mood or something, or like showing what I'm writing or something like that. And I feel like, those questions are things that YouTube can't inform. That's the artist, that's the creator, like making those decisions, which is I think a really good thing. Like I think that's a really good thing if people are responding to that. That's starting to I don't know. I think it's exciting that is becoming popular on YouTube, because I mean, wasn't that the whole point, right? Like that's why we all joined YouTube.
Broadcast yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's so specifically the video I talked about is talking about like a new wave of vlogging, and it kind of like, and that seems to be the type of content creators that they were talking about specifically, which is funny because also in a way, at the point, it seems like it's re-inspiring people, or even a new generation of people to try things, pick up stuff. There was also, there's also been a lot of talk, especially the beginning of this year, a lot of longtime YouTubers like Tom Scott and MatPat and some others.
A lot of people are retiring. Yeah,
stepping back, taking breaks, retiring, all that kind of stuff, just calling it quits after many years. And I think I saw a discussion where a lot of people were asking, what's happening with the platform? It's like, I don't think the platform is really doing anything. I think these people finished. Like, a lot of them did it for 10 plus years. They built businesses and companies, and they're just kind of done, and they're stepping down, and then new people show up who are now looking to get started and to make something.
That's what makes me excited, because I think we're at the point where I mean, many of us here, even in the chat, have been doing YouTube for years. Like we've as YouTube creators, definitely as YouTube viewers, we've been a part of YouTube for so many trends that have come and gone. And I think like this is interesting to me, because it's like, okay, the thing that was supposed to be the way that you were supposed to make a YouTube video, like, if this is the way you have to do this, like, how, well, you're not going to do that, of course you're going to do it this way, is now not relevant, right?
Well, yeah, and it's like a senior class graduating and a freshman class coming in, and it's like there's an innate shift when that happens, and you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
And what's funny too is like this new thing, like, oh, this is the way YouTube is now. Give it a couple years, and it's then something else will show up.
But it's exciting to me because it's like, I think it's a fun thing when it's like a wait and see, it's like an experimental phase.
I appreciate where it seems like people are coming from, where it's creator first, and it's like, I'm excited to see what everyone comes up with, see what other people come up with. Now, as it gains popularity, as it inspires people, and more time goes on, it's going to have like that Peter McKinnon effect, where it's like, wow, this guy's doing something amazing. Maybe I could do a little of that. And then
Coffee
6 months to
B-roll
a year
galore.
later, everything is exactly just that. So the thing, by the time you even start noticing it and start seeing it, it's kind of already hit a trend. It's hit that critical mass where now it's going to, kind of permeate things, and then people will get tired of it, and there will be a reaction to that kind of goes in another direction, which is just sort of how these things always work in every medium. So it's not like, there is no finish line. It's just sort of, oh, this is kind of what's happening now. But it's interesting, it's this.
Yeah,
it's
see, I think that's what it is. There is no finish line. And I feel like so much of the conversation when it comes to being a YouTube creator is like, how do I get to that finish line? That feels so far, but it's like, well, what if it's just this, and it's just you making videos because you find that fun and you are excited to share what you want to share about, and like, how could you continue to do that because you find that fun, and that's it, right? Like, if it goes crazy, it goes crazy, but yeah, that's kind of what that guy was saying in that video, is like, I don't have to be like the biggest Mr. Beast, but that doesn't mean that because you're not pursuing like being this huge YouTuber, your story isn't worth sharing, your art, your whatever you create. Yeah. Anyway, 990 is from 2007. Was that?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's this microphone.
Oh, I'm about to buy one of those.
Yeah, there's
With
a
the
kit that
pencil
comes with the
condenser
pencil condenser, which is very interesting. I didn't know about that.
So Heather, when are you restarting the weekly creator check-in? That is a very good question. I'm scared to put a date, but I think what's gonna happen is I'm going to, because I could take the approach of like, okay, guys, we're gonna plan all this and it's gonna be perfect, or we just go. I'm leaning towards like go and build it as I go. So hopefully sooner rather than later. I'll say for now, for sure, before February.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say 2024.
No. Yeah, no, for sure. Tech Troublemaker says, a changing of the guard, so to speak. New voices will be heard as old voices retire.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's always a weird thing where the way things are when you become aware of something, you join something, you start something, whether it's a job you start, a platform you pay attention to, whatever, that sort of feels like how it should be and the right way.
Yeah.
And then as it changes over time, it almost feels like, things are changing and they're different. But for new people who are just coming in at that moment,
they don't know.
That feels like the right way and how it is, because that's what they were introduced to.
That's what they see.
Right.
Yeah. Kat says, Matt D'Avella's recent video is very interesting about going back to being a solo YouTube creator and letting go of his team.
That was interesting. I haven't watched. It's funny because, speaking to his point, I haven't watched one of his videos in like 2.5 years.
Ever since he got the team.
Yeah, because I was interested in this guy making these, especially these really high quality videos in his, apartment, and just try to figure it out. And then it's like, oh, you have a giant team of people putting content together. I just lost interest.
Yeah, it's so subtle. Like, it's not an intentional, I'm going to unsubscribe. It's just like, before you know it, weeks have gone by and you haven't seen a video. Which
it's funny because it doesn't mean it's not the team thing, because I always think of like MKBHD.
Yeah, who
proudly has a giant studio and a team, and I think he's amazing. And I think I don't know what it is, but the way he's like weathered every YouTube transition, every era, every trend. And I think it's just also him. He is the personality, but he's also like, he's still actively involved. I think a lot of people do kind of just become the script reader. So it's like, you see someone's channel, it's them, they're making their videos, they get their team, and eventually they're not even the ones necessarily writing or scripting anything. They're not the ones editing everything. They're not the one even necessarily deciding on the topic. They're just the host at that point. And so even though it looks like the same person sitting in front of the camera, maybe even in the same background, something's off because it's not their video anymore. And I think that some creators like Marquez Brownlee are really good at incorporating a team where it feels like a Marquez Brownlee video or an MKBHD video, if that's like the brand, whether or not he was the one who wrote every word of the script or didn't, even though I know he is very hands-on still with like the whole process, versus somebody else that's almost not necessarily hiding those things, but kind of downplaying the, like, oh yeah, I'm hiring a team, but nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. It will change. Something has to change. It just is.
Right. Ob says February is the favorite month because her birthday is on the 9th, and
Nice.
because that's when you had the accident that almost killed you, but you're alive.
So it's like a second birthday.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
And this year you get a longer February.
Yeah. Leap year.
Yeah, leap into live.
Wow. Okay. So we're talking about how like YouTube has maybe going through some changes, which is I think can be scary. Change is always scary, but I always see it as like room for opportunity. See, I'm still confused on where to look. I'm still so confused. Am I looking at my hair? Am I looking at I don't know, the sparkly light. How are you, or are you, like factoring in any of this when it comes to your channel and your content and your create? Like how have you had any thoughts in terms of like, bye 2023, hello 2024, here's how I'm gonna try to do things, you know,
Based on like trends and stuff?
No, just like, sure. Or like, you know, have you changed anything, or are you changing anything with the new year?
No. The thing that I learned last year, which we talked about, was like it was very I'm saying it was helpful to sort of tear apart my whole system and re-examine how I do things, although I'm still kind of recovering from that. And it caused also a lot of problems, but what it did teach me was to embrace that and to like confidently embrace the way I want to do things, how I need to do things, regardless of if it's trendy or not, or cool or not, or whatever. Because it's anyone can, you know, make one video that like, here's everything I need to do to make a video that has all these ingredients or whatever. But it's like, okay, can you make 500 or 1,000? Can you keep doing this for the foreseeable future indefinitely? That's when things get really tricky and really sort of strange. And
Yeah.
you have to be doing what works for you in order for that to happen. And maybe if anything, you know, it's felt like people have been contorting themselves to try to fit this other thing for so long, and now there's a larger conversation and acceptance about not doing that, not twisting yourself into a pretzel to make things work anymore, and people are accepting that.
I mean, that even goes back to when Kat was our guest talking about the Enneagram and like how everyone should do YouTube differently.
Yeah.
Based on, you know, your personality and your preferences and however you like to do things.
Which is so I'm not changing anything because that's how I've been approaching it since the beginning, but I have felt guilty and I felt like I'm doing something wrong for a long time, especially the past several years. And now it's nice to sort of feel like
embracing
in a way, it's almost like I told you so. Like,
it's like empowering.
It is empowering, and it's, yeah. So that's sort of it. It's like nothing is changing, but there's a nice reaffirmation of, yeah, stay the course kind of thing. Because that's the only way that I could keep doing it. Otherwise, yeah, I'll make 5 more videos, then I'll be done forever.
Yeah, and that doesn't
work.
We don't want that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bark and I actually just talked about something similar on our pod. It's interesting how much getting bigger on YouTube changes people. Sometimes the channels are unrecognizable.
Yeah, and people oftentimes, which maybe is like someone like Marquez Brownlee, maybe their strength, when they go from recording in their dorm room to working with a writer and an editor and a team, they sort of acknowledge and embrace those changes and incorporate them rather than try to downplay or hide them. And I think some people refuse to acknowledge the change because they don't want to admit that it's happening, or they're worried about messing with their channel or whatever. And by the time the channel becomes this unrecognizable thing that everyone's like, this isn't the same, but the creator at the heart of it is like, no, it's exactly the same. People are just dumb and they don't get it. It's like, it just changed. You know, it's like a stand-up comedian who, when they're just starting out and they're broke and young, a lot of their jokes are very like down to earth, real life, because it's like what a broke 22-year-old is dealing with trying to like figure out life. But now when they're 47 years old and they have tens of millions of dollars and they've been successful for decades, it's kind of hard to write those same jokes about like, wow, this crazy thing at the grocery store with the coupon machine, right? Like it just doesn't hit the same way. And it's like, I don't know, some people know how to adapt and roll with those types of changes and others don't or won't.
Yeah. Mike says, hello everyone, afraid I was gonna miss it. I feel like YouTube's constantly evolving, but glad there are pathways still open. to stay true to what you want to do as a creator. I think it's opening up even more.
I feel like it's
if
moving in a
anything.
positive direction.
Yeah, I mean,
in that
especially
regard.
like, so I think my impression is that there isn't. I think if you were to ask people, like, say, a year or two ago, even last year, like, what is a archetype of a YouTube person, and they would think Mr. Beast. They would think of a Mr. Beast video or TikTok for some reason.
Yeah.
But I think now, like, even in the conversations where people talk about YouTube videos, it's like, oh, I saw this YouTube video of this. I saw this YouTube video of this. And it's all from creators and channels I've never heard of, like, even more. And I feel like leaning into those little, like, specializations of, you know, I think we're at a point where it's going to be someone who is creating something so, I hate saying this word, but so niche of, like, it's only something you can do because of your perspective and your experience and your weird, I don't know, obsession with this thing that's going to create that channel that everyone gravitates to.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I've been telling myself about it, as I am also, like,
I was curious how you feel
approaching both this channel and my tutorial channel now, is I'm thinking of it as, like, YouTube is a place where you can throw your own party. And you're the host of this party, and you can decide, like, everything from who's coming and, you know, what activities there's going to be and, like, what food you're serving. And, you know, like, you get to dictate, like, the entertainment and, like, the activities that people do and stuff like that. And I just love that idea. Like, that is so me. That's so my, like, I get excited thinking about, like, oh my gosh, and then we could do this and then this and this. And that's where I come with my best ideas. And I think, like, I feel like that's such a fun place to be in when you're like, oh my gosh, we could do this. And, like, what if we tried this? And what if we tried this? I feel like that's like I don't know. It's like it's a fun creative process.
It is. And it's
versus, like, here's the rubric.
Well, it's like,
and,
imagine
we have to make sure at, like, 10 seconds there's got to be this or whatever.
Imagine if there's, like, 5 houses and each is throwing a party and it's all the exact same party. Like, you would go to one and then that's it, right? Like,
right.
Versus, like, this house is having a costume party, this one's having a murder mystery party, this one's having a disco, like, whatever. And it's like someone would go to the costume party and be like, I don't like costume parties, which is fine. Doesn't mean costume parties are bad. Doesn't mean everyone hates them. Doesn't mean that person shouldn't be throwing the costume party.
Doesn't mean that it's wrong. Doesn't mean it's not the way that should be done. It's just that, like, now go through your own party. Yeah.
Or go, you know, there's other ones too. And you could go to that one and really love that one. And I might not want to go to that one, but I really like this one. Like, and that's.
Yeah, I feel like.
No one feels guilty because
yes,
they throw a certain type of party, right?
Yes. Yeah. Because I can even think back to, like, you know, creator meetups where it was like, like, it was, I don't know, it was so clear that, like, everyone did it this, like, had the same approach.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually want to go to some kind of, like, many events this year. I'd love to go to VidCon to kind of, like, test this. Tom and I were even talking a couple weeks ago how I was like, I want to go to every creator event this year just because I'm so curious of, like, what the conversation is, because it feels like there is so much change. I just want to know, like, I want to take a pulse and I want to be there and see what everyone's talking about. But, like, before it felt like here's the way that you're supposed to do it. And now I feel like this is what my channel's about. What's your channel about? Cool. That's awesome. And we can, like, that doesn't mean I need to change. You don't need to change. Like, we're just doing it our own way, and that's cool. You know?
Yeah. And that's, what kind of party do you throw? I throw this kind of party.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool.
Drew is here. Hello. Let's see. Thanks to both of you. I set my office up so I can make a video every day. Y'all both encourage me to just do it.
Nice.
I love that.
We should copyright that slogan.
Okay, honestly, I was at the gym and I was like, you know, because I've been on this, like, this is the year of action. I'm just gonna do it. Just do it. You know. And then I looked over at my backpack and it just said, just do it. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, backpack.
Kat says, it was also fascinating to see what happened with channel makers in the summer. Ooh, what happened?
I actually don't know about this.
Seemed like a single person, but was a team.
I didn't know about that one.
Channel makers is the dude with the curly hair, right? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
But I remember he was one of the ones that like
Curly hair, kind of messy hair.
yeah, that's what I said.
No, I know. I'm trying to.
He was one of the like the new like wave of YouTube coaches.
I don't know. Have to do
But
some digging
yeah.
there. See you later, Bailey. I do want to thank you, Bailey. He put together on my channel supporter message board and my like private message board thing I put together. Bailey put together like all these docs on every resource for like links for my live streams, video
wow,
thing,
that's
whatever.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's super cool for me and anyone else who like during chats when someone asks frequently asked question or whatever, it's like here's everything you need to handle that.
Oh, I love
Very
that.
cool.
Thanks for doing that. Mike says it's like restaurants, different styles, Italian, Mexican, fast food,
Right.
Steakhouse restaurants, different strokes for different folks, and we all love to mix it up with where we go to
Even
eat.
easier way, yeah. Just because like someone doesn't like Italian food doesn't mean that an Italian restaurant is wrong.
It just feels so obvious that was it really not this way this whole time?
I think it always has been this way, but
I know for sure it wasn't at the last VidCon, but that was a while ago. And I'm trying to think like during the pandemic.
I think under all the noise, it has always been this way because it can only be this way. It's the only way anything can work.
Now we're just getting real philosophical.
Well, yeah, because it gets layered on top with, like you were saying, people want to get to the finish line. They want to know the answer. They don't want to keep being in this discovery phase. They want to crack the code, get the answer. Here it is. But it changes. It's a moving target that evolves and changes all the time. And yeah.
Well, it's also like, what is the target? Right? I think I think that's the conversation too, because it's like, I think people would cringe at the saying, if you're not growing, you're dying. No, that's what it was before. Like, that was, I mean, every workshop and seminar was that. Yeah. And I feel like now it's like, what are we even doing? If that's what it is, and there's nothing wrong with people who do that, because again, I do feel like there are professional content creators that literally they're just there to create content, which is awesome. But in terms of approaching this from an art and an outlet perspective, that's where I think it's different.
Yeah, I lost my thought.
So did I.
Something must have blown through the wind in here or something.
Michael says Costume Party is the content creator that has a different YouTube personality.
There we go.
ECamp Creator Camp. Yes. I want to go to all the things. I just want to go to all the things. And
Tech Troublemaker says, I'm walking and thinking, listening to different audiobooks and communication, creativity, and mindset, but not about content creation specifically. My imagination is thriving because of this.
Dude,
yes.
I read 25 books last year. Well, I think I read more than that, but like in 3 months, I read 25 books, and none of them were content creation. Nothing. Not even
you'll
close.
pull so much good stuff from other places.
Oh my gosh, it was so. Are you okay?
I just suddenly had like the biggest yawn. I don't know. Is there like a carbon monoxide leak in here or something? Like,
here, you want some coffee?
No, I don't.
He doesn't want coffee.
It was a long night, and then I had to get up bright and early and go to the dentist, and my mouth.
Tom was at the hockey rink till like midnight.
I know, and then I had to wake up and go to the friggin' dentist for like the 15th time in a year.
Yeah. So anyway, I like that. I feel like that's the conversation too. Like, there isn't just the one way. There's not the one book. It's kind of a cool thing that everyone has a different background, and you're pulling different sources of inspiration, and I feel like that is embraced. I don't know where I'm getting that feeling from.
I feel that too, because I think maybe the platform people acknowledge that the platform is so big there can't be one way to do it, or obviously it just doesn't work when everything tries to get smushed into the same funnel. And it's like, not even that funnel's bad, it's just not everything should be that. So it's like, as much kind of crap as I talk about the Mr. Beast style of doing things, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a perfectly fine, legitimate way of doing things. It's when everything felt like it needed to be that, it became too much. Which isn't even him. He's not even the one telling people to do that. If anything, he's telling people don't do this.
Right.
But it's people see what's at the top and they replicate whatever's at the top.
Yeah, like I remember, oh my gosh, so much of the advice was go to the YouTube trending page, and how could you make your YouTube channel more like what you see on the trending page? Yeah. It's like,
be the Tonight Show. Okay.
Well, that and like, but are we trying to get on the YouTube trending page?
Right. Is that
know?
even your goal?
Yeah.
Is that a sign of success? Is that a sign of... And then you see the stuff that, pops up there, and it's like, sometimes there's just complete outliers that make no sense. How do you...
I think it's like, it's also like, there's just, yeah, the Tonight Show, or I don't know. I don't even know I haven't looked at the trending page.
But
like,
I don't even know how to find it.
I feel like I couldn't be whatever's at the top, even if I tried. Like, I would assume that there are some people there who do the basically scripted reality TV, which is cool. Like that's fine.
One restaurant. That's one restaurant to go to.
Yeah.
Totally fine. We just don't want every restaurant to be that restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe it's the YouTube viewer is also recognizing that they can find there's an unlimited amount of channels.
Well, the discussion I've seen so much, especially on the videos about like, is YouTube changing and whatever, is people sort of recognizing that they've just been watching a lot less of it lately, even though the platform is growing. So
YouTube?
YouTube is growing as a whole, but a lot of people are like, yeah, I just haven't watched, even me. Like, I don't watch nearly as much as I used to, kind of because you just sort of like, okay, I'm tired. Like, everything is just sort of the same thing, and I want to see a thing that doesn't feel like that. And, sometimes I don't want to, so I just go read something or,
play video games. Yeah. Drew says, I've never followed any guiding rules for either of my YouTube channels. All I've ever followed is rule of, am I having fun and exploring different interests?
I think it's a very good rule.
Yeah. Kim Bucha's in the house. Happy Friday. Oh, no, Coffee's here too. Channel Makers was the guy with the curly hair.
Oh, okay.
He left and started his own channel. His name is Nate. I thought that was his own channel. I thought that
was his own, yeah, because it was you.
Oh, Nate Black left Channel Makers and has his own channel. I thought that was
his own channel, yeah.
So it wasn't.
I guess not.
Here. Channel Makers was Nate Black, and everyone thought it was his channel, but he was hired by a company to run it.
Oh. See, that's it's weird. That's weird. That's weird. I don't like that.
Well, I mean,
there's nothing wrong with being hired by a company to run a channel.
Yeah,
but like, why are we all under the impression? But again,
I'm so curious what the reception was to that. Like, were people confused, mad?
Well, that's the thing is like, I don't like that feeling of like, wait, I thought this was something and it's not. It's like finding out a band doesn't write their own songs. Like, you're still great musicians. You still put on a great show, but like, I thought you were sharing something you created with me, but it's not.
TJ Lovelady says, I don't understand YouTube anymore. Seems like the algo wants to anticipate what the viewer wants to watch versus allowing the viewer to craft their viewing experience. Subscribers seem to not matter.
It kind of sounds accurate to me.
I think subscribers is getting less and less relevant.
I think YouTube's even been
because
like about that.
I mean they've said it. I've heard them say this multiple times that just because you subscribe to a channel doesn't mean that you watch all the videos. Because what if someone is putting out, you're subscribed to 100 channels and they're all putting out content.
But this is also where YouTube does the thing where they like talk out both sides of their mouths. That's the expression.
Yeah. Because
it's like, oh, subscribers aren't the metric that matters, so everyone watch the video. So we look at, view duration, all these other things. Okay, that's fine. If somebody doesn't watch a couple, I don't know what the number is, but if you don't watch a couple videos from a channel in a while, it just won't pop up in your subscription feed anymore, even if you're subscribed to it. And sometimes I go through my subscription feed and I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought this channel stopped making videos. No, they make 2 videos every week. I just haven't seen any in 6 months because I, for whatever reason, didn't watch any for a while. Okay, fine. Subscribers don't matter, but then things get taken away. And then YouTube, if you notice, if you ever have a video that does well, it will say, your subscribers are watching this video, helping to increase its reach. Okay. So you're saying this group of people doesn't matter, but they're the group of people you're using to determine how the video performs, but you're not sharing the video to everyone because you like, which is it? Do they not matter, or are you literally basing every decision on their behavior? Because as a YouTube creator, through YouTube Studio and the dashboard, you get told both things. And that's where it's like, and I know YouTube is a giant company and they have different teams that literally sometimes I don't think talk to each other. And so both things are happening at the same time because they don't even realize it. It's very frustrating.
Rant. Rainy Cajun says channel makers versus Think Media. Thoughts?
Um, well now I don't know. I haven't watched either in a long time, but I was liking Channel Makers because I liked his. I like the way he explained things, and he kind of broke down. He was good at taking what seemed to be relevant topics and breaking them down interestingly. Think media is sort of like the I don't know what the term is, but the thing that's been around a long time, and it's like everyone who has a YouTube channel for any length of time has probably benefited from a Think Media video at some point.
I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if not for Sean Cannell. Like,
right.
He was my first YouTube coach back in 2016.
Yeah. But I will say for me, when I look up something and a Think Media video pops up, I actively avoid it now because
Same.
I feel like their approach is, I know that they're not approaching it the same way I'm approaching it. So
Yeah.
it's like, I kind of don't even want the advice. That's just me though.
Yeah. I think like, my thing with channels like Channel Makers and Think Media is that I do think that there are some fundamentals that everyone should know about YouTube. Are we lagging? I feel like we're lagging.
Us?
Anyway,
we
yeah.
are like.
Is it lagging on your end?
Hello.
Well,
yeah, we're like
really lagging.
on
right?
us. We look very glitchy.
Well, okay. So let me finish this thought. I feel like there are fundamentals to doing YouTube, to being on camera, to live streaming, to editing, to uploading. Like I feel, creating thumbnails. I feel like there are fundamentals that every YouTube creator should know. You kind of have to like speak the language, but the part that I feel like isn't, that people may not be aware of, especially if you're new and then you come in and you watch these channels, is that there should be a graduation, right? Like it's like painting. Like yes, you have to learn the basics and the fundamentals of painting, but it's through creating that you find your voice, your style, your the thing that makes you you. And I think when, like, the reason why I stopped watching those videos is like, a lot of it is based on things that like, it like messes with my creative vibe because it makes me feel like, oh, I have to do that, but then
Right.
like it's
Right.
like, so that's why it's like I feel like you should know. There is a like how to tell a story through video. Like you have to kind of learn how to do that. But then from there, I feel like if like you can't really learn how to throw your party by like going to the party expert, right? Because then you just make that party. You need to go do what you find fun, right? Like if you could throw your own party, how would you do it, right? If you could make your own YouTube channel, like how would you do it? But obviously, like there are kind of just like rules you need to know, or guidelines, I guess.
It's fun to avoid reinventing wheels that exist for reasons.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
So learning to ice skate, you want to go back to hockey and ice skating and stuff. There are plenty of times when I have gone over the past year wanting to learn how to do something and focus on something, sign up for class, take lessons, watch a bunch of YouTube videos and want to go implement those things. There are other times when I've gone to the rink and I kind of am just goofing around and having fun. And like I don't really care what I'm doing. And it's funny because sometimes people with very good intentions, just like, the Think Media of the ice skating rink, you're over there just kind of doing your own thing, and they'll show up and say, hey, this is how you need to do this sort of move or this kind of pass or this sort of catch or this sort of whatever. And it's like, cool.
I'm sandboxing right now.
That's not what I'm doing right now. And then, you were sort of doing your own thing, having fun. And now it's like, no, do it this way. No, do it this way. No, do it this way. What? You're not doing it that way. It's like, it's like not what I came here for though right now. But there are other times when you do come here for that. It's sort of the same thing. There are times when you want to know, hey, what are some of the foundational things I should be aware of? Let me, not dig myself into a hole unintentionally. And hey, what are, some things I don't want to pay attention to that right now. I want to do my own thing. And I'm sorry, I was so distracted. I don't know if my NDI camera pop up here.
That's where it is. I was like trying to find it on my stream the other day. Is it this one?
Maybe.
I cannot see right now.
I don't think so.
Local.
Well, I was trying to show a thing that's happening.
Oh, scene locked. Hold up. We can do this.
I was just trying to show a thing, but
It's not this one.
Oh, it is this one. Okay. Yes. So we are here, there, and there's Heather. Hello. And this whole time Heather was talking of this whole thing, our giant 80-pound golden retriever was navigating, jumping up on this thing here, and he was just sort of standing over here, and I was like,
that's why
what are you doing? Like, he never goes up there, and he was like up
so
and walking
cute.
around, and it was adorable, but I was like so distracted by it.
I went to VidCon Baltimore with my 11-year-old nephew on the fan side. It was a nice experience in terms of community, safety, and coming together, but I didn't participate on the creator side.
That sounds cool, though.
Yeah. I'm very interested to go to VidCon. I want to go this year. I liked attending Vid Summit 2022, but when it came to signing up for 2023, I never pulled the trigger. I'm curious. I'll be open. Too. I'm open to all of it.
Because you're not even as interested in like the conference as the crowd. Almost.
I want to know what everyone's talking about. Right. Yeah, like
you want to feel the vibe. Like how are we all feeling?
I want to soak it all in. I'm not like before. I felt like I would go to these things to
fill out your notebooks and
like I felt like I was the beginner in the audience, and I'm learning, right, so I can go apply. And now it's more of like a journalist. I'm doing research, it's like interviewing, it's like what are people talking about, and then
studying wildlife.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Yes, going to the dentist sucks. Everyone agrees with you.
I don't know any psychopath who loves it.
Content Prince. I missed these lives. Didn't see one in a long time. I'm happy to found this back this year. I hope you are having fun. I think Alex Hormozy did the YouTube change from a man in closet to Mr. Beast.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Really? Mr. Beast in the business category, however, the change worked. Even those of us who stopped watching or felt bad at the start, we couldn't resist coming back because the content value just got even better. Yeah.
There we go.
And Ben wants a recreation hockey league reality show, which is basically happening.
Yeah, my worlds are finally colliding.
League
yeah,
has an Instagram account, and Tom has been having a lot of fun
doing like the
using
mic
his YouTube skills. Yeah,
mounting GoPro. Like last night,
he's just having a
blast. I was in my goal league. You were like filming a thing, putting mics on players and stuff, and it's been really fun.
I'm going to vlog his like what's in his hockey bag.
I've been putting it's been kind of fun to develop like this. Okay, what is a like mobile hockey setup where I can do photos and videos, but also potentially throw it all away and then play. Like not have to, like I played last night, but I also took photos and videos.
I know you did. That's funny. Ono Coffee says those gurus who keep saying subscribers don't matter have forgotten what it's like to fight to get monetization.
Right, and there is and there's also the thing, unfair as it may be, where it's like it is just it's an easy metric for the average person.
Yeah.
To see, like.
Yeah, like for a viewer, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Like,
someone who doesn't.
This channel has 10 subscribers.
Yeah,
this channel has 10,000 subscribers. Like, I'll go to the 10,000 one because, it's just that this thing has this many reviews. This has more reviews. Like, I'll go to the one with more.
So we're lagging, but our audio is still there.
Okay, as long as the audio is still good, I guess that's the most important thing.
So one of my big goals is to get Ethernet this year in this office, because the Wi-Fi, like, I don't know, whatever it is, bank is on the other side of the house. But my office is
we've
like...
put them in here. It just doesn't matter. This is just a dead zone.
Anyway. Last year, they felt very snake oil sellers, but slowly they are getting back to basics, it feels like. TJ says, exactly, as a creator, I believe reach matters most. If subs never see my stuff, they won't watch unless they seek out my content. As a viewer, I want to see what's out there, but tend to forget the click on the subscription tab, so I end up watching what YouTube thinks I want to watch.
I see. Yeah. The subscription, it's almost, in my mind, it's almost like a bookmark now. Like, oh, remember, I like this channel. Like, I hope something
that is a name I haven't heard in a while. Lately, I've been enjoying learning about YouTube from Nick Nimmin.
Yeah. Nick and D, I like their approaches because they're pretty experienced but down to earth. And they're...
I would not have used that word to describe Nick Nimmin.
Down to earth?
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Everything. I don't know.
D was the one that you like did some streams with, right?
Yeah, we've been on streams together at some point, I think. But yeah, I mean, we've talked.
I haven't. Like maybe it's different now, which I would be interested to see. But I felt like Nick was very much like here's like what Mr. Beast is doing, so you need to try to do that. I could be totally wrong.
I feel like this is just my feelings as a viewer. I felt there was almost like a world weariness that set in, and then it was like, okay, here's how it is. Like here's how it actually,
right?
Which
well,
is helpful.
Yeah. I agree. It's like high school. Once you graduate, you don't need to go back.
Definitely not.
Drew says, the thought that you want to learn something but don't want to learn to imitate someone else's thing has been huge for me. It's the main reason I've never gone to school for photography.
Yeah, it's hard because it's like you want to learn the basics, but you don't want to.
Read plenty of books and watched plenty of videos on different genres of photography instead. Yeah.
So going back to hockey, because there's so many analogies and it's learning something new. It's like the new thing that I've been learning this year. Learning to play goalie. There's sort of best practices. There's ways to play. There's positions you need to be in. There's like ways you track the puck and stuff. But something I've read and learned is goalies in the past, especially like the 90s, 80s, 70s, and earlier, there were no goalie coaches. There were no YouTube channels. There was nothing. It was kind of like you strap these pads on and you just try to stop this puck. And people are different sizes. They move in different ways. They have different styles. And if you look at like the way, NHL goalies played in the 90s and earlier, everybody was like really different, and it really changed the way their teams are. And now like the athleticism seems to be higher, the skill level even seems to be higher, but it's literally like, this is how you do this move. When the puck is here, you're in this position. Puck's here in this position, which is a more calculated, like accurate approach to play. But it also, you can kind of see like a lot of people, it almost looks like the same person playing, like which takes an insane amount of skill and whatever. But it's like that idea of, it's like, this is the way that you do it. Maybe because it has been proven over 100 years to be the way to do it. But then you see stuff whenever somebody does pop up, like Joey Decord, who kind of has their own little style and does things a little differently. It makes a big splash because it's like, wait a minute, this is not what other people are doing. And then other players don't even know how to handle it because they're like, wait, this isn't what everybody else does. And it throws things off. So it's like, you want to learn the basics. You want to learn the foundations. You want to build your skill set, but you don't want to just be a carbon copy of everything else either. Always a delicate balance in anything.
TJ says, I kind of feel like even if YouTube put a line for channels you subscribe to on the homepage, it would at least give us creators a chance to be great. I thought they do. I thought it says, like, I thought there was a row that was like from your subscriptions.
There might be. It'd be nice if they actually
I know there is. I know there is, because that's where when I pull up our channel every morning, it says like recommended, and then under that it says from channels you're subscribed to or whatever.
Put up another tab that says, do you still want to say, show me videos from all of my subscribed channels. If I'm not watching from a while, instead of not doing it, do a little thing.
Pop
I log
it
in
up
today
every
and
now
it's like,
and then,
here's
like
5 channels you haven't seen in a while. Do you want to say subscribe to them or not?
Oh, I like that.
So I'm still seeing every video from every channel.
YouTube, let's go.
But every so often it's like, oh, conscious thing. Yeah, that's right. I don't like that channel. I'm not into that. They haven't posted a video in 3 years. Like, whatever.
Yeah, so last summer I unfollowed 1,000 accounts on Instagram. Just I told myself, like, I will probably reconnect with a lot of these people and accounts and brands and stuff like that, but I was like, I want to like redo it, like reintroduce. So I only kept like
on purpose.
Yeah, I only kept like, I don't know, 200 people, and then I was like, I'll just refollow. But it was nice to do it now, because there's so many accounts that I followed like 5 years ago that are so just like, oh yeah, I kind of don't really need to see you in my feed.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool where it's like, yes, I do want to stay subscribed.
Yeah. It's like a vow renewal, subscription renewal.
I love this. Heather, the creator anthropologist. Cons. Of all the cons I've been to, the people video is the best because of the small crowd and personal interaction with the speakers. It was like hanging out with friends. I can see that.
I can see that.
That's October, right? Well, we are going to NAB. Everyone here is going to NAB in April.
I'm going to get tickets. Yeah.
In Vegas. It's happening. Okay, so everyone, we will see you there. What's sports ball?
Just sports in general.
Oh, oddly enough, I've been ignoring videos with crazy high views unless it's someone I'm subscribed to in an attempt to and trying to get YouTube to recommend more smaller channels to me. Oh, you know what I'm like really diligent at is if a video accidentally autoplays on my YouTube, I go to my history and I remove it because I don't want YouTube to like factor that in.
Interesting. Yeah, you're good at that.
Yeah. The vid of Tom mic'd up at the goal was awesome. More, please.
I tried to record one last night, but your pro YouTuber boy over here positioned the GoPro where the suction cup mount is like in the middle of the frame. So I don't know. I might still try to put something together and just put it on like a story or something, but it's like, it sucks. I can't you can't even see what's happening.
Wait, POV is done?
Oh, I think it's creator camp now.
Oh.
That's what they're saying down below.
Oh, POV was replaced with Ecamm Creator Camp. Oh. Well, that's when that's happening then. Tech Troublemaker, how does it feel when YouTube suggests your own videos to you? Do you get your own videos?
Mm-hmm. It's weird. Sometimes the thing I like, which happens sometimes, is I'll see a thumbnail and be like, it's mine. But I'm like interested in it. I'm like, hey,
you're not in the thumbnail.
Yeah, it's usually like a product or something. I'm like, oh, I want to see that. Wait, never mind. And I'm like, yes, YouTube, I do like this video.
Yeah, it's funny. Mine are always like, it's almost like Facebook memories. Because it's always a super old video. You know, I don't even have purple hair, and it's like, oh, sweet summer child.
I think mine does it for me sometimes because if people like leave a comment where they go like, hey, you know, like how do you do this or whatever, and I have made a video about it, sometimes I'll just go to YouTube and type like Tom Buck, how to connect two cameras to whatever or whatever the question is, and then I'll find my video. And I think because I search that, then YouTube starts recommending oh, those videos, you're looking for that. And I'm like, no, I made it. It's okay.
Hey, Peter. Anyone else seeing stuttering? Possibly something to check out after the show. Yes, we're stuttering because my internet, well, not even just my internet, our internet sucks. Horrific. But like specifically my office, we've just gotten lucky.
It's been really bad today. It took me, it has taken me an hour and a half to upload a 400 megabyte file. So that's really bad.
It's also been windy here, and I think the weather really does affect
We just
our
have
internet.
Terrible internet, though.
We're in the desert, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Time to clear the table?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, this was a fun episode.
Yeah, hopefully there's a lot to think about.
We had
we didn't even get to some stuff, which is cool.
So maybe that'll be the next one.
Save it for later.
Anyway, in the link in the description, we do have our email, I don't want to say newsletter, but if you want reminders or, you know, sometimes we change when we stream, you can sign up for that.
Just updates about when and if streams are happening.
For the couples table. Yeah. So you can sign up for that. Otherwise, we will catch you next week.
Yeah. Have a safe, happy, healthy, fun rest of your week. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Dun, dun, dun. Where's my outro?